Hi, I'm Willie. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to set up port forwarding in UniFi, and we're going to talk about some of the options. So let's hop on over to my Express 7. You can see here I am on the landing page. So to get to port forwarding, they've now moved this under policy table. If you haven't upgraded to the policy and the zone-based firewall, it is really the future for this. So you're going to want to consider that. You can always make a backup if you don't like it, but I will tell you that we have found some things, especially VPNs, that work a lot better and a lot more consistently if you are migrated over to the new view and the new policy-based setup. So we're going to go to settings, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go down here to policy engine, and we're going to go to policy table. And here under the policy table, you can see all the different types of policies that can be set up. And down here under port forwarding, it's grayed out and it says 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to click new. And that's going to open up the create new policy screen. And you can see right there that we want this to be port forwarding. So we're going to call this, port 443, right? HTTPS. And right here, it sees our WAN address, but it also warns us that our WAN is NATed. So it has detected that our WAN is a NATed IP. It's in that RFC space, right? And it lets us know that. In the case that you're double NATed and you want to do port forwarding, you'll have to get into your ISP's equipment and also do this, or put the ISP equipment in bridge mode so that that routable IP address lands on your WAN. If you're under CGNAT, that's a whole other ball of wax and is not as straightforward, right? But for now, we're going to pretend like this is a live IP address, even though we've got the warning. Now, the really cool thing that you can do with port forwarding is just because it comes in to port 443 doesn't mean that that's where you have to redirect it internally. Now, normally, that's what you're going to do. If you're using port 443, you're probably running some sort of a web server, something over HTTPS, maybe even a VPN. Ask me about that in the comments. So here we would put 443, and we can tell it to automatically update the forwarding port to whatever we're going to forward to internally. But if we wanted to redirect 443 to something else, like, I don't know, I'm just going to make a port up, but like 991. I don't even know what's attributed to that. But if that's what our web server was running on internally, 991, but we wanted the world to see it as 443, we could do that. Here in our example, we're just going to use 443 because that's standard. Now, the forward IP address here, that is the IP address of whatever you have inside your network. Now, I'm going to tell you this, do not port forward remote desktop. Just don't do it. Set up a VPN. It's easy enough to do. Port forwarding should be used with security in mind, right? A web server is a lot different than RDP or SSH or any of those things, right? So you have to use this responsibly to maintain your security posture. So we're going to pretend like my web server is at 192.168.1.443. And then the other thing that we can do right here is we can limit who can actually send, the traffic through to this. Are we limiting it to, an entire actual range outside a single IP or a subnet? So we can do specific here, or we can do list, and then we can create a new list, and we can add all of those there. We aren't going to do any limiting. We want that open to the world. Now, I forgot what my... yeah, I'm sitting here talking. I can't use 443. That's not a valid IP. So we'll do 43. I don't know what I was thinking. I was all caught up in the moment with port 443. Much happier now. Now down here, we'll select our protocol, whether it's TCP or UDP. If you're running a web server, more than likely it is TCP. If it is a web server, I wouldn't see any reason for UDP. And then down here, what we can do is we can actually hit syslog logging. And what that's going to do is every time a packet hits your firewall and hits this port forwarding rule, and comes through it, is it's going to create a log entry in the syslog server for that. So we've done some pretty cool things with that in real time. To know if ports are getting hit, we send it to a syslog server that can then send us text messages. It can send us emails, push notifications, all kinds of stuff if we're watching for traffic on a specific port or from a specific address. After that, we're going to click add. And now if we close that, now you can see here that we have right here under the policy, we have a port 443, port forwarding. We're translating TCP, source any. And over here under our policy table, we now have a port forwarding policy set up. So I made that, this took a lot longer to do the explaining than it does to actually do this. So you can experiment with this and you can, play with all of the options of port forwarding and get to kind of know it inside and out. If you've got any questions about it, ask me down below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share, follow me on Twitter and TikTok. Those links are down below, along with affiliate links, a Patreon link. And if you need IT consulting, if you need to set up network security and you don't want to necessarily do port forwarding, if you need voice over IP, storage, Wi-Fi, all those things, head on over to williehowe.com, fill out the contact form, and someone will be in touch with you as soon as possible. Come on over to community.williehowe.com and talk about your port forwarding experiences today. Once again, I'm Willie. I want to thank you for being here, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.